Welcome to Padres Talking Padres. We are live tonight. So far, there's two of us. We don't know if it's going to be a third one. We're waiting for the youngest Padre to pop in. But for now, we're going to talk about the Padres.
Love my Padres. Love
Yeah.
my Padres.
And I'll be honest, the last two nights, the last two games, I went to bed early. I was really tired. Um, and both times they came back to win with me sleeping. So
Yeah.
how cool is
So
that?
so we're just gonna have Jack go to sleep every night in about the
Yeah.
seventh inning, and
It
well,
was
it's tough on you, man. You got that East Coast thing, man, and
I got to get up early in the morning. It's
yeah.
just like, I don't think I've been feeling 100%. So not to make excuses, but I went to sleep, and it's funny because the extra inning game, I think it just ended before I rally sleep. Boss says it just ended before just like probably 10 minutes. Hey, Michael, it just ended like 10 minutes before I woke up to go check the score, and I'm like going 11 or 10, was it 10-5 final, something like that?
Yeah, 10-5.
I go
Yeah.
10-5. I go, wow. I go, wait, 11 innings. So I went back and watched the final inning before I went back to
I'm
sleep.
glad you got to go back and watch it too, Jack,
Yeah,
because yeah, that was a couple of pretty special games. I was talking to my friend Michael that's here. Three different Michaels now.
yeah.
Uh,
Too many Michaels.
but I gotta say it reminded me a lot more of last year as far as we talk on a, as you know, we talk on a regular basis, and it's like there's just that something that's been missing this year, and last year was abnormal. Let's face it. Merrill himself had five home runs to walk off, and ninth inning home runs and stuff like that. And that just doesn't always happen for a team. But we hadn't had hardly any this year. I mean, hardly any. And now back to back, although they weren't walk off because they were visiting, it's still the same premise of like, wow, some real excitement. I mean, my heart could take a little bit less stress, but to see the fight, the vim and the vigor, the late inning stuff, and quite honestly, from different players, not the prime suspects all the time.
Well, the bottom of I think it was yesterday's game. The bottom of the lineup had 7 hits
Yeah.
of the 9.
Well, welcome. Felix Verbean.
Yeah,
Welcome. Uh, Laureano, although he's hitting more like fifth or sixth. But the bottom line is, though, is that we're getting contributions. And even O'Hearn, even though he's off to a somewhat slow start, I mean, come on, 5 games, but 2 for 13, I think it is. But he got the big homer yesterday.
yeah,
And that's what you got him for, right?
right.
And so, yeah, the contributions, Miller closing it out. Yeah, I'm sorry, Freddie. Yeah, I'm going to get stuck on that one. I'm going to do
I didn't even correct you.
I'm going to do my Merrill Jackson thing, too
Yeah.
often. So, but no, it was a great way to come back and win. Bullpen. I know a lot of Dodger fans were throwing the hate and the smirks because Miller gave up the home run the other day that made it 5-5. First runs he's given up since June 19th. So yeah,
I think I saw that
shame
too.
on him.
I saw that too, and my response was, I think Dodger fans need to worry less about our bullpen and more about their own. But that's just me. Yeah, I went back and watched the Mason Miller thing, and I go, "Oh my God, the umpire missed 3 strikes."
Yeah,
I mean, 3 strikes in an inning. That's pretty bad. Let's see, some great games yesterday, but Cronenworth getting thrown out at the dish with a Derpia slide.
Yeah.
I mean, he was out. I mean,
He was out by 5 feet. So
yeah,
I think it's one of those give up slides.
Yeah. I mean, what could he do? Maybe jump over.
They pulled it off, and they've done really well. With the double steal. I still like to play. We go back to April, and the local radio show said this along the same lines. It's like you go back to April and you ask Padre fans, if you were to poll Padre fans about what kind of base running do you want to see it, aggressive or conservative or passive, and almost everybody would have said aggressive because that's what the Padres do. I mean, that's part of their makeup. The aggressive base running, take the extra base, move the runners. So when your play goes bad, sometimes you just got to say, okay, I wouldn't have done
Well,
it either way,
was Pomomo? He made a great play. I mean, he realized it and
Oh yeah,
he stepped up. I
Perdomo,
mean,
yeah.
yeah. So yeah, he made a great play. So that helped. That helped too. But yeah, I'm all for the aggressive play. I'm all for the
Yeah.
aggressive base running. Um, but yeah, you can't complain. And then, like I said, I went back and watched Mason Miller in the eighth. I go, okay, yeah, he did give up the home run to Gurriel. I mean, it was 100. I think it's the fastest ball that's ever been hit for a home run. Something
Yeah.
104
Well, and
miles
it
an
was
hour.
also about the eighth pitch that he thrown, and about the only negative I would say is, no matter how fast you throw it, you can't just keep throwing the same pitch every time. And
No,
I think it was reflected in his outing yesterday where uh, he struck out one batter with 3 straight sliders. I mean, just
yeah,
never even threw him a fastball.
it
So
was Gurriel.
yeah, so it you got to mix it up, and look, you tip your hat every once in a while. I mean, I hate to say it, but sometimes you can just swing the bat, and if it hits the middle of it, it can go a long
Well, if the
ways.
ball's coming in 104 miles an hour, if
Yeah,
you hit it, it's going to go out a lot
yeah,
faster.
went out 107. So
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, after I saw it, I go, okay, I'm not. He got, you still got to make the plays, but he got screwed. So
yeah,
it's right. And then, like I said, we came back and it was hit, just the way they were. Like I said in the 11th, just the way and the bullpen. Let's face it, was nails. Other than that,
yeah.
Mason Miller eighth inning. I mean,
And it will continue to be nails. I mean, I know there's a whole lot of argument going around, and it's one of those I could care less kind of things, because it's just kind of people trying to write about whatever they can about the argument about who's the best bullpen, and and of course San Diego, New York Mets, New York Yankees all get mentioned, and you know what? They're all great. I mean, come on, sometimes you just got to say, hey, just lump them all together. Bottom line is, uh, they're all getting it done, and the one thing that I will personally know, because I watch the Padres, is they're even deeper than the 5 that they show there, because David Morgan has been unbelievable,
yeah,
for a young pitcher.
Captain Morgan,
So,
as Mud called him.
look, and Peralta's had some good games. Matsui's a little bit of a slump right now, but I got it. I mean, there's not too many guys that, if I see them out there, I'm not going to say, hey, they can do the job. So,
I hate to say this because I don't want to jinx him, but I've gotten more confident with Peralta of late.
yeah.
And someone
Yeah.
put down a stat. You take away that Yankee game where he
Oh,
just
yeah.
got bombed. His ERA is almost nothing. He's. I mean, do I want him out there if it's Game 7 of the World Series and we
No,
have to
no.
no. But can he help us get there? I think he can. Michael said, Yankee fans' aggressive base running hasn't been very fun, but I'm pumped that the Padres are doing it with their new pieces. Nestor too has a good 5 innings.
Yeah.
Esther,
And his first start since April too.
yeah,
I
he
mean,
looked, and he
really.
looked. Other than he gave up a home run, and then he got the base. He hit 2 batters and got the bases loaded. The second, I'm thinking, oh my god, and then he only gave up a run. So I think he's going to be
Look at
productive.
5 innings, 2 runs. Come on, I mean, there's nothing really wrong
No.
with that. No matter how much anybody struggles, the end result is what always matters to me. And we've said this so many times about Randy Vasquez, and I know a lot of people were like, "Oh, great, good, we got rid of Vasquez." I'm like, man, you don't watch a whole lot of Padre baseball then,
No.
because you know what, the guys kept us in games, and that's the starting pitcher's job, if you ask me. There's not too many pitchers, and I mean, it's a very short list that lands on one hand of guys that you sit there and say that guy will win the game for us more times than not. The Derek Screwballs, guys like that. The DeGrom when he was in his heyday, and Scherzer. There's just not too many guys that you sit there and say that guy will win us a lot of games just by the way he's pitching. My definition of a great starting pitcher is a guy that goes in basically 9 out of every 10 games and holds the opponent down to reasonability where you can win the game. And
Vasquez, his last game might have been his worst one. The last one he pitched for us, he was
by
bad.
far,
He was bad. I mean, he had his balls were hanging over the middle of the plate. I guess.
Well, he gave up the big homer,
Right.
and that's the difference, and so sometimes you can do the dance, and look, his metrics, as they call it, have not been glowing this year, but the old expected versus what he did and all that kind of stuff, I don't pretend to know that, even though I fancy myself a little bit of a statistician. They project that he was way under what his expected ERA was.
They've been calling him lucky.
Yeah. So, and there's a little bit to that, because obviously if you start dancing with the fire, you're going to get burned eventually. And it took quite a while for him to get burned. And I think the Padres record with him was something around 12-5 or something like that. I mean, it was just unbelievable. So, yeah.
Oz was at the game, Vasquez. It was fun until it wasn't.
Until it wasn't.
It was the same thing watching. It's like, hey, this is fun. Oh, no, it's not.
Because it goes the other way around too, right, Jack? I mean, how many times have you seen a pitcher? Who's the guy? Brian Wu for the Mariners had a perfect game through like 7.5 inning or whatever, and they pull him out and they end up losing the game.
Yeah.
And here's a guy that just not only did his job but did it to perfection, and then next thing you know, they lose the game. So I think that's one of the reasons why AJ did such a great job of going out and just fortifying the bullpen. So, if a guy, I know everybody has to pitch the 3 batters nowadays, but they could be on a somewhat short leash if something isn't going right,
Right.
And all you got to do is look at some of the teams that we're beating right now and what the bullpen has done to them. The Diamondbacks, the Rockies, pretty much everywhere we've been playing lately. It's like their bullpen gives it up.
Well, they were saying that when you look at our team, we have multiple closers.
Yeah.
Now, the one thing people are pointing out, and we brought back Reynolds, is we don't have that long reliever, the guy that goes 3-4 innings. But now I think Reynolds is that guy, because every guy in the bullpen was a 1-inning guy.
Yeah.
Except maybe Matsui, but if Matsui's in the game, I usually say, and I hate to say this, it's usually a game that we're not going to win.
Yeah,
I think he's the last option in the bullpen
for now. He is, yeah. The funny thing is, though, Jack, you say that, and I don't disagree with you. When's the last time we needed somebody to go 3 innings?
That's true.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I really want them to go, 6 or 7. Heck, I'd love to see a complete game, in my lifetime again, but. The fact of the matter is if your starters are going 5 innings, you don't need anybody to go 3 anymore. Now, the rare case that the Padres have needed it is usually because the bullpen's been burnt. You got the 6 big guys or the 5 big guys, and they're all 2 of them or 3 of them can't pitch, and the other 2 you'd really like to not pitch that day. That's the time that you would like it. So. And Oz does point out a good point. Morgan has pitched multiple innings on a few occasions. So, I just don't worry about our bullpen except for overuse. And I looked at the schedule, and the Padres have 1 13-game stretch without a break. Otherwise, everything's shorter than that. Okay. So we're no longer doing the 23 games in a row and stretches like that. That makes a huge difference. And there's quite a few times where they play the 6 games and then they get a day off. So I don't think that that's nearly the issue as it was back in the hot days of July and going through that long stretch where they never had a day off.
Well, September 1st we can call other players up, right? So we can expand the roster.
That's true too. You can only I think you can only bring up 1 pitcher though, if I remember.
Is it 1 pitcher?
Yeah.
Okay. So you can bring it back. You could bring back a Hoeing or something like that.
But if you look at the schedule again, we were all worried about July for different reasons. It was more about not having days off. That was a big deal.
Right.
August is more about competition, and September is, man, if we're in good position September 1, I'm telling you, we got a very favorable schedule in September, especially compared to August.
Well, August we have the Red Sox coming up. That's not going to be easy.
And then we go to the 13 games against the Giants and Dodgers.
Yeah, Giants and Dodgers. So.
Well, the Giants aren't looking nearly as formidable as they were when we were talking about this a month ago. Thinking, right. Oh boy, here we go. We're going to be going into the lion's den, so to speak, of the schedule. Don't get me wrong. Just like the Diamondbacks, anything can happen when you're playing a division rival. So I'm still hoping we can tiptoe through this. I think it's good. I think it's good that we have our fate in our own hands. Right. When you're 2 games back, that's different than where they were a couple of weeks ago when you're 6-7 games back and you're saying, oh, I need somebody to beat a team that we're chasing. We're a little bit more in the driver's seat now.
Well, at one point,
and I'd like to see us hang on to it. In fact, we theoretically have passed the Mets for the second wild card spot.
Right.
So,
and we're a game and a half behind the Cubs or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, there's always been a saying in baseball, or a thought in baseball, is come September 1, you don't want to have to pass anybody. I mean, that's when you really want to have your, the ability to go out and say we can protect our lead versus we got to start scoreboard watching and hoping, hoping nobody else wins.
Well, that's how it was in 2023 is we're like going, we were so close, but we had such a bad start. Right. We were, and that's like going, okay, this team, and it's like, the team won. They won. We lost, dude. So, yeah, you want to have control of your own destiny. I mean, that's,
I say the same thing, when we get done with the Dodgers, that's it. I mean, it's like so you got the 7 games against 6 games against the Dodgers, 7 against the Giants coming up. And I'm not bypassing the Bo Sox because next to Milwaukee, San Diego and Boston are the 2 hottest teams in baseball.
Yeah.
So damn the luck that we have to play one of the hottest teams in another league at the prime time. But I'm optimistic.
Do they go to LA after us, or are they done with Los Angeles?
No. What? Oh, I'm sorry.
No, the Red Sox. The Red Sox, are they done? I figured since they're coming out here, maybe they're going to LA too.
You know what? I don't know that, Jack. I'm looking at it as we speak here. Let's see if I can fast forward. I can't get everybody.
It seems to me they played them in. They've already played them. I think they played them in Boston.
Yeah, let's see. LA goes to LA, so they're playing the Angels.
Okay.
When we go to San Francisco, and then let's see if they go. I would assume that Boston's probably back in Boston.
Yeah, I think Boston. If I remember,
they're playing at Houston, so no.
Yeah, so we shall see. I mean, it's going to be fun. Like Michael says, we're only 2 games back.
Yeah.
And like I said, about a month ago, we were like 9 games out. We had fallen like a rock, and Dodgers were playing well, but the Dodgers, they just can't get any consistency going, which is good for us. So.
Well, I didn't read the article because I refused to pay for the New York Post. Sorry, Mike, I just can't. John Heyman's not one of my favorites either, but besides the point. But he was in his initial scratchings was indicating that the Dodgers were fielding inquiries about Mookie Betts for a trade.
Well, going through waivers and
no, at the trading deadline.
Oh, the trading deadline.
They were looking at that. Yeah.
Well, I mean, he's having a down year. I mean, he could come back at any time.
And I don't see anybody taking that contract.
Of
course, the Dodgers could probably eat it all and trade him anyway. So.
Yeah, I wouldn't faze him. But it's again. I said the start of the season, and I've now seen Dodger fans saying, "I go, it's a mistake to put an older guy who's got some issues at shortstop." I go, just keep him in the outfield. Obviously you can't DH him because you have Ohtani. So I just didn't understand putting him in at short. I mean, put him at second. That's a lot less.
I think it has more to do with health, Jack. I really do. But he was so sick at the beginning of the season.
Yeah.
And I love Mookie Betts. It's the hardest thing. Him and Freeman are 2 of my favorite players. I really
love them both.
I think they're just great guys. They seem like they really got a good head on their shoulders, but it sucks that they play for the Dodgers. And so, who knows what the Dodgers' ailments are. When we were going through our stuff, I didn't know what our ailments were either, And then all of a sudden, I don't think it was just the trade. I think it was just, look at Bogey, man. I mean, Xander's like Xander. I mean, Xander plus, the last 40 games, he's hitting like 340 now, I mean, so.
And that
what makes people click all of a sudden? I don't know, because we'll say the same thing about, for Fernando now. Everybody's like, oh, Fernando, and now Arias is in a slump. And it's like, that's just baseball. You can't You can't always be hitting 400. I'll say that about Laureano. Just hold down your expectations. He's not going to hit 360, folks. He came out of the chute good.
Maybe
That's
350
great.
though. Maybe 350.
That's great. But there's a little bit of as Manny says, at the end of the year, just look at the back of the baseball card, and I'll be there.
With him though, and I put it in our chat. He does get rid of the ball. I mean, when he catches a ball, he's like ready to throw his two-hand approach. And they had a relay yesterday where he just got it, boom, and threw it, and they got the runner out at third. I'm just impressed with his style of play.
I like his style of play, but he's made a couple of errors already, but I like he fits into the Padre mantra of spraying the ball around. I like that. Got good hustle. The same thing with Fermin. O'Hearn's a little bit of a surprise he didn't start the one game. We were chatting about it on text, and Jay brought up a good point that Manny probably needed a day off, and when Manny DHs, then there's really no place to put O'Hearn. So
that's why
I take it for that. So
the
problem that Schultz got right now is he's got a problem getting all these guys in a lineup. So it's a good problem.
Yeah, like before it wasn't. But I was saying I said what they should do is just give Manny, anytime we're facing a left-hander, let him DH.
Yeah.
And that way you can, because O'Hearn's not that great. It's supposedly he hit his homer off a left-hander yesterday, but
first one he's ever hit.
Yeah, off a left-hander.
Not ever, but this season.
This season, yeah. So I said, okay, just that way he plays against all right-handers as DH. Yeah. But again, you got to get Sheets in there too. I mean, Sheets was carrying us, first half, and he hasn't played at all. I'm like going, well, you're just going to have to give Arise a day off every now and then, and put O'Hearn is supposedly a great defensive first baseman.
Yeah.
But again, it's a problem. Schultz going to have to deal with it, and people are kind of getting stressed out. And I said, well, you got to mold these pieces in.
Are we winning?
Yeah,
honestly, this is where I do kind of take umbrage. We're 9-2 in our last 11 games. Just quit it, fans. Yeah. Just quit it. Come on. And we're 9-2 in the last 11 games. All these GMs and managers on the internet it just drives me nuts.
And I didn't want to see Bergert and Kolick leave.
Yeah.
But when Fermin made that throw to second base where he threw a guy out,
yeah,
I mean, it was a rope. And not to take anything away from Maldonado and Diaz, but they don't make that throw.
Well, so let's talk about that trade a little bit, Jack. And here's my take on it. Bergert and Kolick were probably, as young arms, getting close to the end of their how many innings they wanted them to pitch.
Right.
So if you're a club that San Diego is, that is looking for the World Series, not just to go to it, but to win the World Series, you need to worry about now. So yes, you're giving up a little bit of future, no doubt about it. But you got guy back that's your future too, as well as you got back some shortstop that's in single A. That they're already touting.
The next Tatis.
So to me, when and there was an article written about where Preller said that his ability to trade DeVries was based on the fact that he had already made deals. They weren't announced yet. He had already made deals or had deals sitting there that allowed him to fill the holes that he wanted to fill. Left field,
which he
catcher. Did. Yeah. Well, that's what I'm saying. That's why he traded DeVries for Miller. Yeah. It wasn't the first time he'd been brought up, but until then he was hesitant because he wanted to make sure that all of his needs were filled before he went and got that stud reliever that he really wanted. So
something, I'll be honest, and I said before, I wanted him to get another bullpen arm. Yeah. And when I heard it was Miller, I'm like, you got to be kidding me. I was hoping for some guy that eighth or seventh inning guy, eighth guy, another arm. I go, you got us a closer, another potential closer. Someone, like I said, I don't know if he's going to be a starter next season. I
hope not.
Closer. I think I see him as the closer. I mean, but I don't know how people can complain about what he did. He gave up prospects, but I don't hear Washington fans clamoring how much they've won the trade anymore. Because I follow a lot of Washington National fans, and Abrams is down to 270. Wood is down to 250 or something like that. He's struggling. I mean, I don't want these guys. I like them. I don't want them to struggle, but they are struggling. And Gore has been terrible the last month.
Well, that's just it about trades. You never know what's going to happen in the future. I mean, you're trading on what they have done, but you're also trading on what you think they're going to do.
Right.
And Preller's the first one to say, look, to get good ball players, you got to give up good ball players. One of the guys on the MLB network said there was a time when executives, and this is like 3, 4, 5 years ago, where executives were saying about Preller, he's burning too many bridges. It's going to catch up with him trading his farm system, year after year. And that same writer said basically, so when is that going to happen? Because it hasn't happened yet.
No.
So apparently Preller, because of his, and they pointed out because of his, was it Chris Kemp? I think it is his scouting department, their international division. He says they just keep finding guys and everybody wants them, So when you do that, and when you play for a now GM, which we love, it's never out of the realm that he's going to make one of these deals. And I remember last year saying, you can quote me on it, but or you could tell me I'm right, but I remember telling you and Jay, it's like, if Preller doesn't take us, deep this year, I think it's time to move on. I'm 180 now. This is the guy. I'll back AJ Preller in pretty much any deal he makes. And is he going to make a few mistakes? Yeah, but I'll take him over pretty much any other GM.
Yeah, but again, it's because, and I think we've talked about this 100 times. Padre fans forget how bad the farm system used to be. I mean, we couldn't
trade anybody.
No, because you couldn't get. You're like going because, like I said, if you go back and look at the Padre, there's like a 20-year stretch where the number one pick was just a bust. I mean, it just
pitcher. Kevin Towers. Towers.
But even
rest in peace. He just pitcher. I can always trade pitching for hitting. Apparently not, because we never have anybody around.
There was a lot of hitters too. I mean, Matt Bush. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. And there was reasons why they did certain things, because they didn't have money and they didn't want to pay big bonuses, so they would go after the least desirable. When you're drafting at the top of the draft, I say this about NFL. I say about any sport, you have to hit on. It's obviously hard to hit on all of them.
Right.
But some of them have to come through because you're drafting at the top, and you're going to have that guy that, that sneaks through and comes through in the 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th round, whatever, and becomes a good major leaguer, because a lot of them are high school players and you just don't know. And Preller does draft a lot of high school players and a lot of shorts. He drafts a lot of shortstops, and he does it because they're the most athletic player usually on the field. And they can play multiple positions, as we know, because look at our lineup. We still have a lot of shortstops all over our lineup.
The point was made, though, Jack, and I think it really speaks to Preller and his scouting staff. It's not just him. They have such keen eyes, is that I think it's the 5 guys that they traded to the Athletics was a 2nd round pick, a 4th round pick, an 8th round pick, a 17th round pick last year. So these are guys that he's literally getting that everybody else is passing on, and these are desirables for another organization because they're coming through. So
do you think
when you start basically making your, I don't know how many rounds it is now, 25 picks or whatever, and 10 of them are still desirable, and you're thinking, okay, everybody had a shot at these guys, and now a year later they're willing to trade for them and give you something for them.
Do you think, I didn't think about it till now, but do you think players that are being drafted by the Padres system going, I hope I end up with the Padres, but I'm probably going to end up with another team?
Well, and I heard today, on top of that, all the prospects that they sent to Baltimore, they added prospects so that Baltimore would pay everything but the league minimum for both of those guys, both the Hurd and Laureano's salaries this year.
Oh, I didn't know that. So
I didn't know it either until it was reported that Preller threw in a couple of prospects so that they would pay for everything but the league minimum for their salaries this year to
Wow.
keep them under the second tier luxury tax penalties.
I mean, that's creative. That's, I mean, we're
He's so creative. Yeah.
We're not the Dodgers. We're not the Yankees. We don't have that kind of money. And it's just, he did that last year with Arise.
Yeah.
He was able to get them to pay the whole thing. And it's like, that's incredible.
It's the creativity, and I think you want boldness, and we're talking about it on the base pass, but I want that on my GM too. But the old, you can't, I host trivia on Wednesday night, and I was just talking about this. Well, one of my daughters, their team was in the lead, but when the final question came up where you can wager, they weren't sure of themselves, so they didn't bet any money or any points. And they had the right answer, and they ended up not winning because they didn't go after it,
Right.
And I get it. It's always scary, so to speak, to sit there and go after it, because as we know, you start putting your heart, you put, your sweat and your blood into it and everything. And, what's the difference between wanting to win and not wanting to fail? Well, there's quite a bit of difference in it. And baseball, like all sports, is like that. And you got to be willing to put your heart and your soul on the line to be able to make it, and be able to look back and say, I'd do it again. I would do it again. I'd do it the same way. It was the right call. Double steal being a minor example. It was the right call. Hey, look, they made a great play. They made the bang bang play. The guy stepped in front of second base. He made a very awkward but strong throw to the catcher. Cronenworth is up by 5 feet. I'm okay with that. When you make somebody, it's like like look at Tatis. Tatis, when he scored that run in extra innings the other night, the first run, I'm like, what is he doing? I swear he was only like 10 feet past third base, and the guy was loading up. Well, he took a chance. He's Tatis, and what he probably kind of knew in the back of his mind is, A, I'm fast, and B, that left fielder's going to have to throw it by my ear to get it right to the catcher so he can tag me. And sure
what I liked about it, though, is he started when Rise hit the ball.
Oh, he's gone.
He didn't even hesitate. I mean, a lot of players, and of course, again, if he would have been caught, it would have been a double play. But he realized right away he's not catching it, so he takes off. And once he gets going, his speed is just. And again,
well, you got guys like him, Jack, and PCA, and Bobby Witt. And Corbin Carroll. I mean, these guys can affect the game in so many ways, and that's to me why they're so valuable. That there's a special echelon of those kind of guys. Don't get me wrong, love having the Aaron Judges. I take him in a heartbeat, obviously.
Yeah.
The guys that can just boom, hit a home run, change the game. But you don't. Sometimes it's the base running. Sometimes it's the defense, and so that's when you want those guys that I was just naming, and there's many others that just on a flash, they can be there. So, wow.
Hello.
Well, aren't we honored?
Sorry, friends. I just doing dad things and lost track of time.
That's okay. It's
I come bearing gifts from Michael for you both.
Oh. Is it Devin Williams?
Nope.
he's willing to give him up.
Sorry, Michael. If it's Devin Williams, I can't do it. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, we don't have room for
him. So you got a couple of ball caps for you both. Straight from the All-Star game.
My goodness.
Wow. Thank you, Michael.
Wow, Michael.
Man. I can't bash the Yankees at all. So
and the thing is, they're kind of they're like stretch. Anyway, you can't get these in the Michael. I just want you to know that these hats, you couldn't even buy these like in the official Padres.
Yeah, I didn't. I was gonna say I didn't see them.
They had
thank you very much, Michael. I'm serious.
I appreciate that.
That is awesome, man.
Because they have awesome. the baseball man logo on the back. They're kind of like stretchy, fitty ones. But
isn't that Jerry West?
Love it.
Jerry West. Wrong sport. I'm sorry.
Baseball man. So anyway, really cool. Very cool. Jack, I'll give it next time I see you, and Jerry, I'll use the same box and mail.
I'll see you Saturday.
Yeah.
Exactly. I'll give it to you Saturday if I remember.
I said Jerry West because the NBA logo is Jerry West. The Major League Baseball, it's nobody, right? It's just
I don't know. I knew
It's
the Jerry
so
West
generic.
one, but I don't know. I don't know who.
because I've always said I go with it because along the NBA, getting off topic here, but the NBA they wanted to make it like Michael Jordan, LeBron James. I said what you should do is just every year you change it. Whoever wins the MVP, that's you make the logo there. So anyway, you could have the pot stick man, Michael said. Maybe in baseball you do that. You could have the guy be whoever the unanimous MVP of the whole both leagues is. But anyway, go ahead, Jay. You just showed up, and we pretty much have talked about everything. But
Oh, okay.
We haven't talked about everything. What do you think about our new Padres, Jay?
I love them. I love them. Just Fermin is a breath of fresh air. Like the 9-hole hitter is not.
You mean Felix? Felix Fermin?
No, it's Freddie Fermin.
They're making fun of me because yes, I said Felix.
Well, to be fair, I didn't catch it.
Yeah.
I would have.
I think there used to be a player named Felix Fermin, and I think that's the Freudian slip.
There was. In fact, there may still be.
I thought wasn't he? Am I remembering wrong? Was there a shortstop named Felix?
Yeah,
Fermin
I think you're right.
Kansas City.
Yeah,
I think he was on Kansas City. Wasn't he?
I'm surprised you didn't go with Fermin Freddie.
He's just gonna start calling him FF.
There is a Felix Fermin baseball player in the past, and he played for the Seattle Mariners.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah.
And Chicago.
I remember the name.
Yeah. Let's see, who else did he play? Oh, he played with Pittsburgh. That's where I remember him from. Pittsburgh. He played for Pittsburgh in 87, 88, then Cleveland, then Seattle, then Chicago Cubs.
Did he play for Steubenville?
No Steubenville. No Steubenville. Yeah.
I will say, I think AJ Cassavell did an article today that there have only been 2 catchers from this town, or I think just Venezuela in general that made the major.
Carlos.
Yes, so Carlos Hernandez and Freddie Fermin. I thought that was really cool, and they know each other, or their families know each other, or something.
Well, his father knew his how is it?
Mother.
Carlos Hernandez knew his father.
Yeah.
They
live close.
Freddie Fermin's father, and so they knew of each other. And actually, Carlos coached Freddie when he was 13 or 14 on catching. So
and Carlos is now an announcer, right?
Yeah, he's
for the Spanish
for the Padres.
Yeah.
So
and he still looks really fit. I mean, I swear you look
great.
at him, he looks like he could get behind the plate at a moment's notice. But,
No, I love them all. It is a breath of fresh air. And Michael, I'm sorry, I'm used to Padres acquisitions at the deadline. It's not doing well, so it is.
Yeah, we do have unfortunately some history, not recently, but some history of guys.
So knock on wood, whatever I got here, that it keeps going. But it's great to see the acquisitions doing so well, and it just, even the game yesterday, I watched the whole game, and it was a much ado about nothing for a good portion of it. But that last inning, and you got that big home run by O'Hearn, and then you've got a little bit of, you got double by Bogey. Like Bogey's resurgence has been.
And I was going to say,
and not just a resurgence, 40 games plus now, and hitting 340. So.
But when I went back and watched, because you didn't hear Jay, I was sleeping through that. And I went back and watched Bogey's double. I go, that was probably his best swing I've seen him have as a Padre. It just was like, oh my God. And now people are harping on his runners in scoring position. Personally, I would have Bogey batting second. That's just me. But
I get why you'd want it there or lead off. But I do like the balance of the right, left, just because before, like Dave Roberts, who's not the best manager in the world, but even a stupid manager could just, I got 2 lefties, or I got 2 lefties, a righty, then a lefty. I'm just going to bring in, my lefty specialist or whatever. I just feel like it's so much more balanced with the right, left.
It is, but I just I'm not sold with a rise at second.
I agree.
I disagree.
Well, I'm curious. This might be a good conversation to bring up, because Tatis, there was an article, Kevin AC yesterday, I think, about, Tatis, they're not pitching him a lot of pitches to hit, right?
Yep.
And so he's taking his walks. He has an insane, his best on base percentage of his career. His strikeout rate's really low, and he's still getting hits, but his slug is down, right? So my question is that a byproduct of having a Rise who's not a slugger behind him and realizing that, sure, Tati's going to get on, I may give up a run, but I'm not going to give up a 2-run home run? And is that a reason or an argument to be made that maybe Arise shouldn't be in second? You need to have somebody with a little bit of slug behind him so that the threat of just walking Tatis is more impactful than it is right now. Because right now, pitchers aren't minding walking Tatis versus letting him beat him with a home run. Jack, I'll give you first take here. And then Jay.
Well, my take has been my Arise since he's joined the team is he just doesn't walk, and he's also he's good at hit and run because he's rarely going to strike out. But the problem is Tatis can't steal because Arise swings at everything. So you have that problem too. I just think again, I think they are pitching around Tatis, and again, I like Arise. I don't if they could bring him back next season, fine. I have no problem with that. I just don't like him batting leadoff or second. I would put him down 5th or 6th. That's just me.
Okay. So there's Jack. There's your thoughts. Jerry, you have the floor.
Well, of course, I'm going to be 180 degrees. I think he's the best second hitter you could have in that position. I think, number one, so I'm going to say something Padres fans probably don't want to hear. I don't think Fernando's that great of a base stealer. I think he's a great base runner, but I don't think he's that great as a base stealer. He's gotten thrown out many times this year.
Because of Arise is bad.
Well, no, because and look, there's a little coordination. I won't disagree. There's a little coordination that needs to be made. That if he does want a straight steal, all he's got to do is signal Arise. I mean, they got those kind of signals where it's like, I'm going to steal, so don't swing at the next pitch.
Mm-hmm.
Bottom line is, though, he's by far, by leaps and bounds, the best hit and run hitter we've got. For the very reasons that Jack doesn't like him swing out of the strike zone, that's what you want out of a hit and run hitter. Because on a hit and run, the way it's traditionally run is you don't try to steal the base. You are just making sure you don't get picked off, and then you start running. Versus a run and hit, which is more of a not signal. I'm going to run, and if he happens to hit the ball, then so be it. Bat control is very important. I think Iglesias is probably the second best at the hit and run, but I think that's way too far up in the lineup for Iglesias to do. And again, you're talking about a batting champion, and yes, he frustrates me too. I'm not going to sit here and say I love him swinging at ball 4 the other night when it was Tatis walked, and then Arise was in a 3-2 count, and the ball was a foot above the strike zone, and he swung and he got out. And you're like, crap,
the one where he jumped up at
that could have been first. That could have been first and second. So, look, I know there's some frustration with that, but yeah, I wouldn't change a thing. It's working, guys. I mean, it seems like we talk about this when both of them may be going a little bit of a slump, but when things are going right, it's crickets. So that's
I think that's fair. I just think there is something to pitchers don't mind walking Tatis right now, and there's
which is good.
Which is good.
That's good, right? I mean, the fact is to your point, is Fernando's actually taking the walks that maybe he wasn't taking before. So I think it's worked very well. Yeah.
Well, Tatis did say, he goes, they're really not throwing me anything.
Yeah, and I watched it.
Fine.
He may get one pitch in at bat, and he hasn't.
The other pitchers are way off the plate. Like I said, I like Arise, but again, we talk about it's still stolen base. There was one where Fernando was definitely going for a straight steal, and he had it because he had a great jump, and the pitch was like a foot outside, and Arise fouled it off.
Yeah.
So then the next play, it was probably a hit and run, and Arise swung and missed, and Tatis was out. I mean, it takes a lot out of you to sprint and then come back and do it again. So I just
think we can find one incident to prove our point.
Sure.
All the time.
Yeah.
So,
But I'm saying moving Bogarts up to the way he's hitting right now. I mean,
he swings and misses a lot, guys.
I do. I understand that, but I'm just saying I'm not saying for hit and run. I'm saying for just I just feel more comfortable with It's funny. I feel more comfortable with Bogarts up there now. I think like Jay's saying, they're not afraid of Arise. They know they can throw pitches outside the plate. He's gonna hit them. Now, when he's 3 for 4, 4 for 5, that's a mistake. But when he's going 0 for 6,
I will say I think it works, right? Because how many runs has Tatis had?
he's like 77, something like that.
So like it's working, right? And you need runs to win games. So I'm not like arguing.
Right.
Again, to your point, Jerry, like I think it's a great tandem, like a hit and run tandem.
Yeah.
Okay. And sometimes it fails.
Right.
But for our team that's desperate for slug, if Tatis isn't getting if pitchers are like, I'll take my chances that Tatis scores 1 run, versus Tatis we have enough coverage in our lineup to give him better coverage to where we might see better pitches because there's a better threat behind him.
Yeah.
All like to Michael's point, look at Soto, the 1 year with the Yankees, he has Aaron Judge. And again, we don't have an Aaron Judge. Thank you, Judge, for picking the Yankees over us. But sure. How much better Soto was when they had to pitch him better pitches because Judge was right behind him.
Well, then your solution, guys, quite simply, and not being sarcastic, is to move Tatis.
Move him down. I agree.
Right.
But who's your leader?
To me, the problem is, I think it's the same problem no matter where you go. We are not a home run hitting team. That's not who we are. And the only person that you could sit there and logically say is a home run hitter on our team is Manny Machado. So do you want to put 2 right-handers,
no,
Fernando and Manny back to back? So I don't, if we had, and not even an Aaron Judge, but if we had, I mean, look, so to me, you guys started talking about this, and I look at Corbin Carroll. We just got through playing him. Yeah. Corbin Carroll is a wonderful player. The guy gets walked a ton. Mm-hmm. Why? Because he's got Ketel Marte behind him and Perdomo around. No matter where you put him, because they tried batting him second when Ketel was hurt, and I don't think he did as well. It's just the whole thing about a batting order.
Well, he batted second.
You kind of have a role wherever you're at, and that's
sure.
I kind of get it. I don't think it's it's got to be this kind of thing. But as a leadoff hitter, normally you sit there and talk about a leadoff hitter, and I'm not talking about just a leadoff hitter of the game. I'm talking about a leadoff hitter. Your job is to find a way to get on base.
Yeah.
And the only time the leadoff hitter is the leadoff hitter for sure is the very first time they're up. The second guy is about moving. If the guy gets on, then I got to move him. Hopefully I get a hit. I get hit behind him, whatever it might be. But that, I've always said the lineup is kind of insignificant because once you get past the first inning, who knows going to lead off every inning?
Sure.
Might be your biggest power hitter is going to lead off, but part of it's knowing your role. I go back to what you said, Jay, and I've always said this: left, right, left, right, left, right. The best you can do is left, right, left, right, left.
All right. What if we put Merrill there?
I don't think it really matters. I think the angst of the lineup is just consuming. I think that you can bat anybody anywhere and make a case for it. But what these guys feel comfortable with is the conversation we don't get to hear with Mike Schilt. Because Bogey, if I remember right, last year was okay with anything when the big, who's going to hit where. He didn't want to hit second. Yeah. That was the one he didn't want to do.
I do remember that.
He said, I'm fine with leadoff, I like third, fourth, but I don't like hitting second. So, that's the things that I always say, that Mike Schilt gets the honor of being able to talk to these guys one-on-one. When do they want a day off? I think you were right about Machado needing a day off from the field.
Yeah.
I think that's why O'Hearn didn't start that day. We're all guessing.
Yeah.
But I think that's what goes into the logic of a lot of stuff, and we don't get to hear it. And Schilt's not going to come out and say, hey, just so everybody knows, I talked to Manny. He needed a day off, so I'm gonna put O'Hearn on the bench today, guys. Are you okay?
Wait,
everybody okay with that?
Does Schilt have any kids?
I assume so.
Because then we could bring him on the show and ask him those questions. Yeah. if he's not a Padre, he can't be on there. So we could ask him those. Again, it's we're him and Han about but at least it's not like it was 3 weeks ago where you go, all right, the 7th, 8th, and 9th guy are coming up.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
That's
You
the
know?
big difference. That's
So-
the big
Huge.
difference. Right.
It's huge.
You know, and again, you weren't on here, but I caution people. Lariano's not going to hit 400.
No.
The whole year. O'Hearn's not going to hit 140. Hopefully, knock on wood. But what I like, and I was talking to my friend Michael today. What I like is that these guys seem to be the perfect fit. You hear them in interviews; they want to be here. Like,
Right.
hey, O'Hearn said, "Man, I'm on a super team now."
Yeah.
For me, he's getting a chance to be the regular catcher that he's probably desired for 5-6 years now.
And he was basically the
Laureano
apprentice to
is like to me Iglesias on steroids. Kind of.
Mhm.
He defensively, they're both really good. Although Lariano's made a couple of yips, you can tell he's got a good feel for it. But the way he sprays the ball around fits perfectly with what we're doing here. I couldn't be happier. Miller, he gave us first runs up since June 19th. Oh well, But then he comes back last night and just blows them away.
I will say it was 104 miles per hour. You hit the ball.
We already tipped our cat.
Yeah,
You're late. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Well, and again, the big thing was, and I will recap this a little bit, Jay, for you, is he got burnt by the fastball because by my count, he threw 7 in a row at the same speed.
Yeah.
What did he do last night?
Sliders.
Same batter, 3 straight sliders.
Yep.
Strike 1, strike 2, strike 3. You're out of here.
3 balls in the dirt. There was no way he was hitting a home run on those.
No. I will say the first 2 sliders were strikes.
Yeah.
It was girl. He just wasn't ready for it. He was
Yeah.
like, "Oh, he's going to feed me the fastball again, and I'm going to yank this sucker out of here."
Yeah.
So I mean,
not today, not in my house.
Good pitchers adjust. Yeah.
I will say, like, if a pitcher is pitching 104, if you just put anywhere decent a swing on it, the speed of that ball is going to do the rest of the work.
Just close your eyes, swing the bat, and hope it hits the middle.
Yeah, exactly.
hope it doesn't hit you in the face.
Can you imagine a hit? I mean, if I would have asked for the ball.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, I'm like going, that thing's going 104 miles an hour. Not only did I hit a home run.
Yeah.
I if I hit a foul ball off him.
Yeah, if you just make contact.
I need the ball. I want that ball. It's one of my trophy case.
How bad would that hurt if you get kind of a bad hit on it and 104 hitting the bat?
You're talking IL. You're talking IL. I mean, it's gonna hurt.
I've got splinters. I mean,
it's just and he's so smooth. It's just like it doesn't look
easy 104. I don't understand.
But you bring in Suarez for a change of he's only throwing 100.
Yeah.
I like Michael says 104. I'm bunting. That's not me. 104. I'm cowering.
Yeah,
I'm ducking onto the ground before he even starts to
104. I'm like going, you sure we don't have a pinch hitter?
Because there was one pitch
I'm bailing
that was kind of up and in at 102. Oh my god!
Yeah,
I'm walking up to home plate and I trip on purpose.
Yeah.
I think I sprained my ankle. Oh,
hammy.
Sciatica.
I mean,
of that All-Star game where Larry Walker just and he's putting the helmet on.
No, the better one is
John Kruk.
Oh, John Kruk.
It's Randy Johnson. Yeah. Randy Johnson threw it over his head.
His next 2 swings, he was so far out of the box it wasn't even funny.
And the funny thing was how everybody in both dugouts was just the players were just laughing, just having because they're like, I don't blame him. Because first he has to go change his pants. Right?
My wife and I went to Louisville Slugger where they make the bats and everything.
Oh, cool.
And part of what they have there is this dates it a little bit. It was Cole Hamels. They got a picture of him, and he's in the background throwing, and it's a pitching machine, but it makes it look like his wind up, and then he's throwing, and it's 90 miles an hour, and so you get to sit in the cage behind it. You're not trying to hit it. You just and to see 90 miles an hour coming at you, it's like it's a blink of an eye. It's like, oh, there it is. Holy crap. Like, I don't even think I could have started my swing by the time he finished his windup. It's just incredible that these athletes can see that, it's just amazing to me. Yeah.
Michael says that's the tragic system.
Tragic.
It's very interesting to see. In fact, I recommend anybody goes to Louisville.
Well, don't they have it? Because we took a tour of Petco Park.
Mm-hmm.
We were out there, and they have their batting cages where I guess fans can see, but the players don't know you're. I mean, I guess they assume you're out there, but don't they have the same thing where the pitcher that's pitching is throwing like?
I think it's just a regular batting cage. When I went on the tour, it's
is a regular
glass,
batting cage.
so you can see them
One
if they're
way
in the
or
batting practice area.
I
Underneath
remember
the
someone
stadium. Yeah.
I remember someone talking about this system, and I thought that they had it at Petco where they could go. Okay, this guy's.
Yeah, but it's not like a picture of a pitcher. You can just adjust the speed.
No, I'm saying it. It's. I thought they showed the pitcher motion, and then they came the pitch, so you could get.
I don't recall seeing that, Jack, but I do know that they have the plexiglass where you can sit there as a fan if you're in the premium seats. Of course,
you suck.
And to sit there and to watch them, if they're sitting in the batting cage, so to speak, underneath the stadium and everything. Since it is pretty amazing though, because the pitching machines they have now can simulate a curveball, a sweeper. I mean, you basically can set it up and you get repetitive pitches, over and over. So
I have been watching behind home plate to see if there's like different people sitting behind there, and it seems like there's different people sitting behind there. Yeah. All the time, so I gotta wonder what those tickets are going for.
Probably about $1,000 if I had to guess. I've told Tammy, it's like, yeah, someday maybe I'll pony up. I just just for the sheer pleasure of just wanting to watch it from down there. But again, I like a little bit of elevation, kind of like when we were in in Pittsburgh. Give me about 20 rows up. To me, I want to see the field. I want to. I'm always afraid if I get down too low, it'll be so low that it's like you're having to look around the umpire and the players and stuff like that. But
no, you say like this: "Move, Blue, step aside."
I can call the game from here better than you can. Yeah,
I will say the seats that Michael got Colleen and I for the Yankee game. That was that kind of perfect, not right in front,
right.
Kind of that next section back, and you could see the whole field. It was amazing.
Again, to me, it's the you go in there and you got all this alcohol. They're going to treat you like
royalty.
Yeah. I do want to do that once because we sat there during the tour and we got to sit right in those seats. I was like, oh, this is nice. They're so cozy too. They're so padded.
Now, see, at Jack Murphy, back when it was Jack Murphy, I sat in the second row behind home plate one time.
Nice, awesome.
But they weren't the customized seats that they are today.
I sat.
That was back in 70, maybe 74.
Well, I said towards the end of Qualcomm, Howard, he had hometown. He worked at Hometown Buffet, and they had tickets right behind home plate, but not where they're bringing you food nonstop,
right? Because
you could see the players' wives and stuff below us, but we sat in the front of that, and I said, "This is I enjoy this."
Yeah.
Qualcomm, to be fair, didn't have a lot of.
I could do this.
Well, Qualcomm didn't have its. It was
no. That's what I'm saying. This was back when the seats down there were the same seats that you had up in the upper deck. So yeah. So Jay, we were talking about a little bit about the schedule, and so we got Boston coming in, and except for Milwaukee, Boston and San Diego are the two hottest teams in baseball. Yep. So what are you thinking here, man?
Two immovable forces coming together at the same time.
Yeah, doggone it. I think this is about the third time that we've met a team that has been just piping hot coming in.
We don't have Crochet. We're missing him, I think.
Well, that's a good thing.
Our pitching lines up
because he just pitched. Yeah, that lines up a lot better.
We have Pavetta and Cease. King starting the Saturday game, which
I love it.
I love it too, but he's going to be knocking off some rest, so I don't have high expectations. He's going to throw 7 shutty or whatever. But
we need him back. And I look, if you're just waiting for a lesser opponent to put him back in there, I think it's perfect timing, because if I do my math right, King's probably going to have about 8 or 9 starts for us in the regular season.
Yeah,
I get a little bit cautious, or that if a guy's only going to throw maybe 4 games before you get to the playoffs, you're kind of like, okay, is that enough to really get back into form?
Right.
I think the good thing is that we were talking about that, granted we got to play the Red Sox, but at least it's at home, is that 13-game stretch, but lots of days off, as you're showing. That 13-game stretch from the 15th to the 27th is by far the longest one they have left.
Yeah.
Most of their weeks are now 6 and 7, or 6 games, 7 games, and then days off. The other thing is even though they're a divisional rival, we get to play the Giants maybe at a lesser time than what we had assumed that they were going to be. So we'll see
Well,
what that
I
looks
say
like.
the Mariners are better now than they were when we lost.
The Mariners always beat us.
Mariners are always tough for us anyway. So
Yeah.
the thing is, though, Jay, and I will encourage you if you could follow along with me, go to the next month. And I'm not trying to get ahead of this month because I realize that, if you go forward to September, though, you look at our schedule. First of all, notice all the home games comparatively.
Yeah.
And the road games are against the Rockies, the Mets, and the White Sox. So, of those three, obviously, the Mets are going to be the challenge because they'll be in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got to play the Brewers, but we play them here. And, and the good thing, I think, is we get to play the Reds, so we get to have, again, ownership in what we're going to be able to get done here. And if they're still in it by then, it's our job to knock them off. If you want to go to the playoffs, you got to beat the teams that you're trying to stave off. So got the Dodgers coming up, got the Reds, got the Brewers and the Mets. I mean, to me, those are the games that's like, those are the ones.
100%. 100%. I will say these Mets games, I should try to go to. I have not been to a City Field game, so I should try to get to.
Yeah, I went to Flushing back when it was in Flushing Meadows there.
Yeah, Shea.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll try to go up there. I don't know.
I used to love those games because when you're listening to it or watching on TV, the airplanes coming over every minute and a half were great.
But still, this upcoming, if we can get 2 out of 3 from the Red Sox, I'll be happy.
Hey, keep winning series, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Keep winning series.
2 out of 3. 2 out of 3. 2 out of 3.
Yeah. I feel like we got a bone to pick with Bob Melvin, so I feel like we can show ourselves strong here. At Dodger Stadium's tough, but our pitching lines up basically that I think we'll have King, Pivetta, and Cease again for the Dodger series, I believe.
It depends on whether or not, and I think he will. I think that Schilt will go to a 6-man
he should
rotation for this upcoming 6 games.
He should.
I would do it.
Yeah.
Because basically,
I don't know. Well, Sears is down for 15 days, right? He can't come up for 15 days.
But you have
but you get King back though. So,
right.
Yeah.
So
I would go 6-man, so you line up with your best pitchers again for the Doyers. And then you make do with what you have here.
Well, I think you're going to see in that Dodger series that's going to come down to bullpens. I mean,
sure.
Well, Glasnow's pitching really well. Ohtani's pitching really well. Snell did not pitch all that great. I don't know who we're going to face in that particular series. Yamamoto. I mean, again,
gotta beat
we're being realistic on this. We don't like the Dodgers, but they are very good. They got shut down pitching just like we do.
Yep.
So I always say the big key in playing the Dodgers is to keep the ball in the yard. That's their big advantage. There's no doubt about it. The stats tell you the big advantage that they have is the ability to knock the ball out of the yard. And so we're gonna have to keep it in the yard and grind them out. We've proven we can beat them, but I don't want us to lose sight of the next 6 and put ourselves in a position where, oh crap, we got to sweep them to have a chance.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Well, we're coming up on into time here, because I know Jack needs to get to his next show. But did you guys already pick your predictions for?
We have not.
I just want to point out that we were both right last week. We both picked 4 and 2. So.
No, I went
that's right.
I went 5 and 1.
You said that's right. You changed. That's right. Yeah. So
I said.
I guess I was the only one that was right this time.
I did say, yeah, you're probably right with 4 and 2, but I want to say 6 and 0, but I won't do it.
I think it was the Oz pressure.
I don't think Oz was here last week.
I think but it's just the pressure of her of knowing
she's thinking 6 and 0.
Why are you not picking 6 and 0? Why are you not?
I was so I did
Michael saying, "Oh, you're being pessimistic now. You're not saying 6 and 0."
Yeah, I was really on a high from all the trades. So, and again, they could have easily. I mean, you start
2, baby.
You start out beating the Cardinals. You're winning 4-0. You're thinking, oh, we got this.
Yeah, well, it happens. Okay, Jerry, you won. You got it right, so you get to pick who gets to go first.
Yeah, I really do believe that I will be surprised from here on in if I don't pick 4 and 2. It just because to me, that's the onus that's on the club. Just go 4 and 2 every 6 games, and you know what? You will glide into the playoffs.
Yep, that's not a bad pick. Action Jackson.
hate to agree with Jerry, but I got to go 4-2 this time. But hopefully, I almost went 5-1, but it's the Red Sox and
Yeah, that's
Red Sox
tough
are tough.
series.
And
Really
Giants,
tough
the
series.
Giants still have a couple good pitchers, and they still have some good hitters. They're not complete. They had a fire still, but not quite.
Well,
not a
their
fire
offense
still.
is still alive, but they still got Logan Webb,
Yeah.
who I don't know if
And
we
Robbie
line up.
And Robbie Ray.
Robbie Ray, who owns us, it seems like.
Yeah. So not easy. 4-2 would be nice. But to be positive, unlike you two, I'm going to say 5-1.
And so I'm looking. Let me.
Jay
look
said
at
5-1.
5-1, baby.
Holy, that's
So
the first time
when
you've
we
ever
go,
done that.
So on Monday against the Giants, it's Darvish and Webb, and then it's Cortez and Robbie Ray, and then Pavetta and somebody I've never heard of, Tang. So
That's if we do that rotation, if we don't push it out, right?
well, I'm saying though we're gonna get Webb and Ray. That's the big deal out of it.
Yeah.
That
That's
makes
not
me a
easy.
little. That makes me a little nervous because
we've done well against Webb. I will say we have done well against Webb.
we've done well, but
You-
not
you-
like we're killing him. It's
No,
just we've done well
no,
against him.
You got to
Yeah.
get Webb early because once
Yeah.
he gets locked in,
Yeah.
he just starts.
And the Dodgers series, even though we'll be back before then, the Dodgers series is Cease and Snell, Darvish. Excuse me, King and Kershaw, then Cease and Snell, and then Darvish and Yamamoto.
Oh man, that Cease and Snell game is going to be 7 hours, 87 walks.
That's
that'll be the fifth, and that'll be in the bottom of the fifth. Yeah,
that's in LA, right?
Yeah.
It's in LA. It's in LA.
Yeah.
Because I wonder if he's going to pitch in San Diego because I'm sure he's not going. Because I'll be honest with you, I was at the New York Mets game, and I wasn't the one booing Soto. I go, okay, he didn't leave as a free agent from us. We traded him.
No,
Right.
I don't mind the booing just because he's kind of like how he's playing for the Mets. You know, doesn't present as a team player.
No, I get all that, but I'm just like going, I'm not going to boo him.
I'm with you, but I can't restrict fans. But I will say this: what Manny always said, or not just Manny, but other great players have said: if they're booing you, they respect you.
It's true.
They're afraid of you.
But I think
that goes with the territory. If you're the best player on the other team, you're going to get booed.
I think though it's Snell though. I think that's going to be more of damn you went and signed with the Dodgers.
He knew better. He
Yeah.
knew better.
Yeah. So if he should not expect not.
Are
to
we
get
happy
booed.
he did? I am,
Yeah, I'm glad we didn't get
because
him.
I thought I wanted him. I thought for sure he was coming back. I'm glad he went to the Giants and the Dodgers because you know what? He's been hurt.
The thing is, like any pitcher going to the Dodgers is going to get hurt.
Yeah.
Whatever they teach their pitchers, and I don't think it's probably legal.
Yeah.
They get hurt every damn time.
Fact of life. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, but I got to go.
All right,
Yeah.
that'll do it for this episode. I know I didn't start it, but I'll close it. We'll see you all next time. Make sure you hit the subscribe and the bell icon so you don't miss any.
Thanks again, Michael, and thanks for Oz and
man.
all of our other guests that we had on here.
Yeah,
Always
a lot of fun.
appreciate it.
We'll see you all next time. Hasta luego and goodbye.
Bye. Arrivederci.